For decades, people around the world have displayed a range of special powers and abilities. These powered beings came together and built superpowered cities to thrive in. My name is Angus, and I'm a journalist for the Daily Deposit. My partner Sal and I interview the citizens of Super City, investigating incidents and exploits, and helping where we can, holding the powerful accountable. Because heroes don't do paperwork. Hello, super citizens, and welcome to Heroes Don't Do Paperwork, the only podcast about events both big and small in Super City. I'm one of your hosts, Angus, joined as always by my co-host Sal.
Hello.
We are reporters in Super City, and we bring you the news.
Yep.
Oh. Sal, are you, you're still pretty upset, it looks like.
Yeah, of course I'm upset, Angus.
Okay,
of course
okay.
I'm upset.
Okay.
How could I not be upset? They shut down my favorite juice vendor. It's been a bad month for juice in Super City. First the orange juice thing.
Yeah.
And now my favorite juice place, Squeeze Me Tight, has been shut down because of some silly health code violations.
Is that the place where they hug a bag of fruit until it's
juiced into your cup?
Okay, so wait, so what's the health violation?
Well, they were hugging the fruit shirtless.
Oh.
Now some people were paying extra for that, but
yeah. Were you?
I was not. No, I was in it purely for the juice.
Of course.
The weird deviancy side of it. That's another subculture of the city.
Of course.
I saw one person who just bought the juice and then threw it out. They just wanted to watch the hugging part.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways,
well, what was your order? Take me there, Sal. Like, what's your order at Squeeze Me Tight? Was it
Squeeze Me Tight? That's the one.
Squeeze Me Tight.
Yeah. So I would always go in for the bear hug banana blast. Which is, and it's hard to juice a banana.
It's very hard, especially with a hug. You're
working at it for a bit. It was a 30-minute prep time juice. And so I would walk in. They knew my order. They saw me coming at the window. I already saw Gustav getting his banana bag ready. And then they would sort of just position it as I walked in, and you'd see Gustav just hunker down, give that bag of bananas the squeezing of a life. Time and
Gustav had extra arms, right?
Gustav did have extra arms. Yes. Yeah. Gustav had 14 arms.
Oh wow, uneven. Oh, interesting.
14 is an even number.
Oh yeah, you're right, but it's made up of two uneven numbers.
This is true.
Look, man, I'm.
It was 8 arms on one side and 6 on the other.
Thank you. I'm just a little tired today. You know,
it shows.
It shows.
You're still burning the candle at 3 ends.
Yeah. I've got a triangle candle that I'm kind of,
the vigilante thing, work, and of course,
up close magic. I've been getting really into,
and you're getting quite good.
Illusions, I should say, up close illusions. I don't know.
It's always impressive when you make the coin disappear, and eventually you'll be able to make it reappear.
Eventually, I will find it one of these days. Actually, that's been occupying a lot of my time, and obviously I'm working on articles and stuff like that. I also have a new roommate.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. In my one life, as listeners know, I've got kind of a pretty small apartment that's really more of a crawl space.
Right.
And it's a raccoon has moved in.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah. I didn't invite the raccoon in. I've taken to calling him Randall. But he's pretty aggressive, and as you can tell probably by a lot of the scratch marks on my face, he doesn't really let me get much sleep, and he hates magic tricks. That's the other thing. Hates them with a passion.
Yes. Now you've actually shown me a couple of pictures of Randall.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't mean to play into like stereotypes, but Randall does appear to have a bit of mange. a little bit of foam around the mouth. And I'm curious if perhaps Randall, once again, it's a heavy word I'm about to use here, but I'm worried that Randall may be feral. I regretted it as soon as I said it.
Feral. Jeez, Sal.
I can't think of another suitable word to describe an animal that acts the way Randall does.
Look, yes, he barged into my house. Yes, he's frothing at the mouth. And yes, I don't drink a ton of water anymore now that he's bit me a ton.
You get a little nervous around water.
I do. But hey man, he's growing on me, okay? And I'll ask you, sir, to kind of tone it down a little bit in regards to my roommate, and let's just keep things professional here on the podcast. Okay.
You know what? That's fine. It's none of my business, truly.
It's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
It's none of your business.
Okay.
It's none of your business.
I'll back off.
Okay. All right. Speaking of work, do you have are you working on a story or anything like that?
I am.
Are you doing a memorial for the juice place or?
Look, I'm not really ready to put a Band-Aid on the juice thing. I want to let it be raw for a bit.
Sure. So this mood board next to your desk, that's not work. That's more of a personal thing you're working through.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Obviously.
No, I've been sort of throwing myself back into my work to help with the grieving process. Now, listeners may recall that I was doing some investigative journalism into sort of the malicious use of superhero rights within the city. Superheroes were abusing their powers, abusing their privileges,
right,
and taking advantage of the citizens of this fine city. And so I've restarted this investigation in earnest, and I blew open a big one here.
Oh wow! Okay,
this is what I got. This is what I got. Pyramid scheme. Racketeering ring discovered to be run by Super Team, the Food Pyramid.
Oh, wait, okay, I know the food. They're the ones that go around to schools and teach kids about like healthy, balanced eating, right?
In a happier time, yes. But now they have this meal plan that they organize, and they've been going around to people in the city and forcing them to sign up. And then they say, look, it costs this much a month for 30 meals. But if you get 2 of your friends to join, we'll knock down the price.
Oh, okay. Wait. So wait, how many meals?
30 meals a month.
30 meals a month for how much?
$500.
Oh, wow. Okay. So wow, that's okay. 30 meals a month for $500. They knock the price down if you get two people. You get 2 friends to join the program,
and it has to be friends. They don't want family members.
No, they don't. Okay. Then they test for that or something?
Mm-hmm, they do.
Okay. And then, of course, the price is just reduced for that first person and not the 2 friends that join.
Unless they have to get 2 friends. And you can't play it like, well, I'm friends with my mom. No dice. The food pyramid would find out. Yeah. And they put a stop to it.
Okay, wow. Okay, well, at least tell me the food is like healthy, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's still food pyramid. They know what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
It's just 30 meals for $500 is rather exorbitant.
Oh, absolutely.
And then also the language they were using. If you don't sign up, you could have bad health.
Oh, weird. And they do the air quotes and the wink in the text.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's and so you blew this open.
I blew this wide open.
This wide open. Now there is a package next to your desk. Is that related to the case? That looks like it's got the food pyramid logo on it.
Now, of course, in order to sort of infiltrate the racketeering, I had to be racketeered.
Oh no!
Well, there's not many options you have. You can't just approach a criminal group and say, "Hey, I'm just curious about what you're doing." You have to be a victim in order for them to visit you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, their subscription is pretty ironclad, so I'm locked in for 15 months.
Oh my god! Mm-hmm. Wow, like a bad gym membership.
Like a really bad gym membership. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye on that as that develops.
Mm-hmm. It costs $7,500 for this entire 15 month of food preparation.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
It is too. It is. I'm allergic to the contents of this evening's meal.
Let's pop it open. Let's see what you got in
there. We got looks like calamari over pasta with some grilled asparagus on the side.
Okay, so which of these elements are you allergic to?
Asparagus.
That's kind of on the side too, so like you can't.
Yeah. If I take it off the side, the food falls off. It's like a retaining wall.
Of course.
But that's enough about what I've been doing. What have you been working on?
I do have a story. I've got a story I'm working on right now. Just kind of putting the finishing touches on it, polishing it, if you will. Every cloud has a silver lining. Bladed clouds fall from the sky after the Argentum arbalist fires his silver crossbow into the sky while celebrating. It's pretty wordy. There's a lot going on.
I thought you were reading the entire article there.
That's pretty much the gist of it. I've noticed people nowadays just kind of read the titles to things without actually reading the contents. So I kind of got to get as much info in that title as I can because the rest of the article is probably not going to get read. So yeah, I'm sure you remember all the the day before, all those bladed clouds fell from the sky.
Of course.
And I did some digging and I found out that there is a hero in Super City named the Argentum arbalist. Now get this. Okay. Argentum means another word for silver. Okay, so you already knew that. Okay. I did a lot of digging to figure that one out. Okay. Okay, wait. So you knew that immediately? Okay, cool. And so he has an arbalist, which is another like word crossbow. For. Okay, damn it, Sal. Okay, I spent several nights working on this. Okay, yes. Yes, that also means crossbow. So I figured the hero who has a silver crossbow that makes things silver was maybe to blame. And I actually found a video of him online. He beat a villain and started firing his crossbow into the sky. Boom, we get silver bladed clouds that fall.
Now you keep using that word, cloud. Could you perhaps elaborate on that one?
No, sure, of course. Clouds are you know those big cotton ball things in the sky?
Yeah, the cotton ball things, yes.
Those are clouds. Cloud is another word for that.
That was okay.
Yeah.
And they're not made of cotton.
They're not. These ones, in fact, were
made of silver.
Well, at least they were lined with silver for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. Cloud. Feels weird on the tongue.
Cloud.
Feels like I'm talking to a Frenchman.
It does, doesn't it?
Claude.
It does. Well, let's okay, how about this? We'll mull over a few of these words. We'll go to ad real quick. We'll come back, and we've got a cool guest today, actually.
Oh, we have a guest today.
We do. We have a guest today.
Oh, that's going to be excellent.
Have you ever seen those lists on the internet that's like top 5 sandwich toppings, top 5 movies of the year, top 5 celebrities who have a very punchable face? You know what I'm talking about. The point is, all these lists drive us crazy because we have no idea who made them and how they even narrowed down their top 5 list. That's where my podcast comes in. My name is Tung La, and I am the host of Ranked, top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter. In every episode, with the help of a motley crew of self-proclaimed experts, we debate, battle, and work together, showing you the entire process of how we got there, to create a top 5 list of any and every topic we can think of, like top 5 brunch menu items, top 5 fictional dogs, top 5 90s songs, top 5 Steves? The list goes on, and we will not rest till we rank basically everything. So join us every second Thursday in the Pod Cavern for Ranked, top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter.
Top 5. Cloud. See, it's good, right? It's
you know, when there's a third party here to sort of provide perspective on it, it does sound like a more natural word.
It does.
I even feel like I might have heard it in passing a couple of times.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's going to be one of those things. Sal, you're going to start hearing it everywhere now.
Interesting.
You've learned this new word. You're going to start hearing it everywhere, and you're going to realize how often people actually say cloud. Okay. But without further ado, listeners, you already heard a little bit of the voice of our guest. Please welcome to the show, Public Transit Advocate C.J. Orion. C.J., welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
Sal.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show and just kind of running through Cloud a few dozen times with us.
Mm-hmm. You got to get the words right.
we do.
More than ever in this society, you have to get the words right.
Mm-hmm. You really do. You really do. Words have meanings, and they must be expressed.
Wow, I'm already loving this guest.
Sal, I knew you would. And this is actually a topic that you and I think we've talked off mic before. I don't know if we've ever talked too much on mic about, but public transit. CJ is a public transit advocate. Now, CJ, could you tell us and your listeners a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, sure. So I have a YouTube channel called Not Just Tubes, where I kind of talk about all of the different things that we could do to have more like people, human-centered cities.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So you bleed over into urban planning a little bit, and
It's really kind of about the harms of like car infrastructure. And
absolutely,
of course.
Yeah, and kind of the different ways in which we can, build better cities.
And Super City in particular is kind of Super City in particular has some unique problems, we'll say, with how our traffic works because of I think even last week Sal and I mentioned the extra dimensional lane, which I'm remembering just now in the moment, and there's flying vehicles here, there's flying people here, there are flying pedestrians. Of course, we have several giants in the city, and different and the opposite of giants. We've got all sorts of
the wee folk.
Yes, we also have all sorts of infrastructure to adapt and to kind of accommodate all these people in Super City, and it really muddies up our car centric. So the city is still very car centric, which is such a bummer.
I mean, this is still the 21st century. Like it's like car dominance is kind of just like a fact of life, no matter where in the world that you are. So, but yes, and I would like to shout out those who super poweredly travel by digging. That's a not often thought about one, but like mole.
Yeah, of course,
the mole people.
The mole people. Yeah.
So there's so many. Yeah. So
what are your
many
thoughts on
sewer
surfers?
Sewer surfers.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's not a lot of them, so congestion is fine, and every building needs to be hooked up to a sewer. So actually, it's a pretty good way to get around.
Now, I'm all for different means of traveling. I'm a huge believer that people should have the freedom to go wherever they please, but there are some new emerging styles of travel that are rather concerning to me as a citizen. There are people now who can digitize themselves and travel along the cables of the internet, but I'm paying for that bandwidth.
Yeah. We don't often talk about the shared costs of infrastructure. There's subtle things about how things we do every day subsidize the ways that other people travel that we may not. I pay for my internet. I don't travel by internet. And that's kind of a problem. A lot of our taxes go to supporting roadways, and a lot of people can't afford to drive.
You don't drive, right? You're not a car guy.
Oh well, I mean, I am literally a car person.
Okay,
I'm a transmorpher.
Yes, okay.
So I do need to use. Like physically, dimensionally
a car person.
Like right now. Sorry, listeners can't see this. But right now we are talking to a car.
Well, hold on. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you've transmorphed into more of like a humanoid-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I can put on like the humanoid face, like.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the face. That's what. But like for the rest of you is car. So how many different forms do you have?
I have like the robot humanoid form,
okay.
And then I have my vehicular.
Okay, and then which is this right now, where you're kind of like, what form?
Oh yeah, I can stick out an arm if I'm.
Got it. Because you are your car with face now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, car with face. This one I quite like, actually.
I quite enjoy it too.
Yeah, and it was no problem moving all these desks out of the way and getting headphones big enough to kind of to fit on your car. So that's all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did we position those correctly? Are they on your car ears properly?
Yes. Yeah, it's cool. Everything's good. Sound check went good. Okay.
I love this. So as a transmorpher,
yes,
what challenges does that bring in terms of commuting? Your channel seems to revolve around a lot about that. I want to hear I want to hear your perspective on what it's like to get around in Super City.
Oh yeah, I mean, traffic, right? Like we all spend so much time in traffic, and did you know that 90% of all particulate pollutions are attributable to traffic?
Oh wow!
Within cities. So and when you're in traffic, it's really, you're really in the epicenter of it. So it's not a healthy place to be.
Right.
And I care about our citizens so much. I don't know. I care about the environment. I'm kind of a bit of a bleeding engine,
of course,
myself. So yeah, it just I look around when I'm trying to get places, and I just see all these unhappy people in their vehicles.
And
now,
go ahead, Sal.
Oh, thank you. Now, I don't mean to bring up a touchy subject, but you have been rather outspoken about the dangers of carcinogens for transmorphers. Of course, your own father succumbed to radiator cancer.
Yes, yeah. My father, Maximus First. He was like 5 years ago or so.
Wow.
No, yeah, five. It'll be 5 years next month. It's really tragic.
So you as transmorphers, even in your car mode, you are susceptible to the pollutions of other vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, we're living beings. It's not all organic going on in there, but there's lots of things in vehicles that are just off-gassed or the microplastics off of the tires and things like that are just they're no good for any living being.
That's fair. We never truly give proper attention to the techno-organic side of our society.
Yeah.
And we, and obviously listeners of this show will be no stranger to it, but we've been a bit on a body horror kick lately in Super City. Lots of organic fusion. I myself am a fusion of organic and technology with my podcasting equipment.
And I have a prosthetic hip.
That's true. We never talk about your prosthetic hip, but you are organic. You're totally a machine, but a machine that is organic. If that makes any sense? Can you?
Well, there's mostly machine, but the inventors of the transmorphers, they couldn't quite crack consciousness without there being some juice in there.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I would like to just use an admittedly touchy word here, but I feel like this might
twice in one episode, Sal.
Well, I think it might help our listeners to sort of rationalize the type of being that a transmorpher is. And so it's akin to a cyborg.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I wasn't sure, because obviously I'd seen transmorphers around. I wasn't sure. I kind of erroneously thought you guys were aliens for a long time. Like you guys came from a planet that was where robots evolved. But it's good to know that it's good to have these kinds of conversations so we can kind of put that to bed. That's not the case. You were invented. By a scientist.
It's a common misconception. We were actually invented by Henry Ford.
Oh, so, wow!
Yeah,
no.
It was kind of like he was preserved for a little while and then he came back and had all these ideas.
Well, he had that. He went on that rampage. What was that? 20 years ago, Sal?
Yes.
His head on that.
He put his head on a mechanical centaur's body.
Yes. So, for listeners, the mechanical centaur body had a head already. He put his head on that body somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to know where.
No,
you really no. It's not. It's really. we're trying to atone for these kind of past things.
We don't need to keep bringing up Henry Ford. This is not that platform. There's plenty of people in this city who will go on about Henry Ford. I would like to talk more about public transportation. Now,
yes,
you've actually been pioneering a new method of public transportation for cars in the form of one of those 18-wheelers that you can load multiple cars onto. And that way, drivers still get the sensation of driving their vehicle, but there's only one car on the road.
Yeah. I mean, like you could. It really solves some of the problems with like the lack of density in car driving. Like when you really stack them up high, like
precisely.
Like you've got to see. Okay, our most recent prototype has 7 stories, 7 layers to it.
Wow.
It's really a sight to behold.
So your solution to too many cars on the road was same number of cars on the road, but let's stack a few of them on top of each other.
Yeah.
Well, I think
really use that vertical space.
So, you're sort of ignoring the part where those cars aren't using gas because they're loaded onto a transport vehicle.
Well, let's be real quick. CJ, do those cars have to be turned off, or are they just going to be idling so people can have their air conditioning and their radio and stuff?
It's it's not a perfect solution.
I
Idling
agree,
is better than being conveyed.
I guess so.
Yeah, and I mean with the move to like electrification, like we can make these kind of large semi trucks. We can electrify those.
For sure.
Actually, my car form is a large semi truck.
Which we
So I've been towing a couple of those.
I was going to ask because like there obviously are lots of Transmorphers on the road, and so people look around and they see cars full of people, and then they see a car with no one in it, and they're like, "Well, why is this car on the road?" But obviously they maybe don't realize that car is a person too.
Yeah.
So at least, but you're giving people a ride, in your body.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think I could do to help the residents of the city.
What's your major motivation, I guess, to like why do you want to clean up the transportation of Super City?
So it's kind of corny.
No, come on. It's all good.
It's kind of a legacy thing.
Oh.
My dad, Maximus First, I miss him, but he was a big just a huge promoter of ExxonMobil, and did a lot of lobbying. In particular, he was very, very buddy with Mayor Hicks.
So and an oil company,
ExxonMobil, the oil company.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we need oil to live. Like I consume gasoline to stay alive.
Okay, I apologize. I thought you were maybe more on an electric system or something. I didn't realize you guys were still doing fossil fuels.
I've been saving up for surgery to go hydrogen.
Oh wow, that's big.
But it's quite expensive. For now I'm still consuming gasoline.
And that's what I mean. Like that could be something that like Mayor Hicks could step in and sign some kind of bill to help fund this kind of adaptation for your people to help the environment, for those willing to do such a thing. But he's an interesting mayor. He seems I would say, I don't know, how would you put it, Sal? He seems not to give a shit about certain aspects of the city.
I would dare say at times he seems rather antagonistic to certain aspects of the city.
And transportation, like people being able to get around in a timely manner and live our lives, definitely seems to be one that he is either at best does not give a shit about, and at worst is downright antagonistic.
Now on the topic of the mayor, CJ, I know that you might not know this particular individual I'm about to bring up, but the Mayor Hicks did recently assign a new transportation minister to his cabinet, and it is also a transmorpher. And I believe his name is Uberman. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah. I mean, Uberman. It's really a toss up. Yeah. I've known Uberman for quite a while.
And Uberman is making a large push these days to get more cars on the road. Just he I believe, actually, I'm reading a direct quote of his. He says, knock it all down, pave over it, one big road.
Yeah. And
wow.
It's really, and it's, it's transporters like this that, like, they really kind of give us a bad name. Like, they're kind of, it comes across as anti-human, anti-person. And we're not all like that. We just want to be able to live in the city together with everybody else. As to Uberman's motives, why he's doing this, I mean, it's probably ExxonMobil money, but I couldn't guess at to what other motivations he might have for that.
His auto motives.
That's.
I'm sorry. Is that bad to make that kind of joke to someone who's a car? I'm so sorry.
I'm on the fence about them. I'm gonna say it's not the most original. I've definitely heard that one before.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That wasn't cool of me. I'm so sorry. But you said you knew Uberman.
Uberman. Yeah.
For a while. What's your relationship with Uberman?
Brother.
Oh wow. Oh, now hang on a second, Sal. Are you calling me? Are you about to say brother? It's complicated, or are you saying he is your brother?
He's my brother.
Okay. Well,
family stuff is really hard.
You can't choose your family. You really can't choose your family. And unfortunately, like, he was the older brother. He really took after dad, and as kind of the younger sibling, I didn't have to follow that. I'm a little more principled.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
Wow. So okay. So what is if you could have one change to the overall transportation of Super City, what would it be?
Oh, one change. There's one change.
It's really revving while you're thinking. That's cool.
Yeah.
It helps you think, I guess.
Yeah, it does. It really, you got to get the RPMs up.
Of course.
I'm just gonna open a window.
Yeah, thank you, Sal.
I would recommend that.
Getting a little
if there's any fans, you might. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say it would be.
Because you've got this project already where you're making the transportation trucks to carry cars around.
Yeah,
that seems like
a step in the right direction.
It's kind of working, but do we need wider roads? Do we need people to ride bikes more? Do we need do you want those they have at the airport where it's a conveyor belt that you walk on, so you feel like you're walking a little faster? Do we need streets like that so you're driving on a conveyor belt? Is that?
I've heard about an emerging technology where people are putting themselves inside of tumbleweeds and letting the wind push them.
Okay,
it's like sailing, but on land.
Land, precisely.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's definitely an interesting one. I mean, I'm gonna go back to tried and true. Like we've got all of this infrastructure, just less of it for cars.
Less of it for cars.
Like a lane for bikes, a lane for walking, a lane for digging, a lane for flying or hovering, I suppose.
Have you considered, and I let me know if I'm crossing a line here, but have you considered just converting to your more humanoid form and just walking places?
Well, I am still a 20-foot tall robot.
Okay.
It's kind of like
it's better if you're a car.
It's better if I'm a car. Like my feet don't really have rubber on the bottom.
Of course. It's a little confusing because it's like you're a car and you're advocating. You're like, well, maybe there should be less cars on the road, but you're not referencing yourself. You're like, I should still be on the road, but other different cars.
Yeah. I mean, it's not road abolition.
Of course.
It's not
you
road
still
abolition.
need roads. Yeah, of course.
I still need roads. I just want less people on the roads.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think all of what we're talking about here is really cool and really grand. But where's the money going to come to finance all of this?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Road infrastructure is already, we were talking about hidden costs. Road infrastructure is actually extremely expensive and is massively, people massively underestimate just how much money goes into maintaining highways and maintaining all manner of these things. So we're just asking for relatively small amounts of the chunks of money to come off these things. And the number of very reasonable proposals we put in front of Mayor Hicks, and he has just shot them down. It's just very upsetting to me.
If you were to get that kind of leeway, would you and the other Transmorphers make more of an effort to not chew up the roads so bad when you guys are driving on them? Or is that kind of like non-negotiable?
I feels like a solid quarter of the Transmorphers have tank treads.
Yeah, it's a lot and you guys are you're so much heavier than a normal car, quote unquote.
We are quite a bit heavier. So and if we were to get more funding to electrify, like that's just adding more and more weight. It's really a lot of people really, they need those tank treads.
Yeah, of course.
Transformers. So Transmorphers.
I saw a laser sight briefly appear on your
rear. So it's really like we need to be able to use the roads the way they are,
of course.
But it's other people that need to change.
So I guess if you had a message that you were trying to get out to our listeners who are non-Transmorphers, and what was your YouTube channel again? It was not just tubes. Thank you.
Not just tubes.
So if you had a message to get out to people like our listeners, our average listeners who are not Transmorphers, what would you say to them? You've got this pedestal now. What can you say to them right now to maybe help your cause a bit?
I would say, like, if you're interested in seeing change in your city, get out there. Like, there's protests. We have petitions, and really, like, increase the number of choices for transport that gets yourself off of the roads, because we need the roads. Yeah.
Understood.
Okay.
If Angus, may I ask today's parting question?
Oh, absolutely, please.
CJ, what is your recipe for a perfect day?
Oh, geez, a perfect day. Well, I can't start a day without a little bit of exercise. So I do a quick drive around kind of the neighborhood.
Of course.
And after that, I make some coffee, and I have some breakfast.
Donuts, maybe?
No, gasoline.
Okay, sorry. No, I was trying to do another, because cars.
He's making a joke.
Yeah.
Still feels wrong. Like I'm crossing a line. So I'm gonna hang back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, could you not?
So sorry.
Thank you.
Let's just miss wipers a bit there.
Yeah. I like to get good 12 hours in. I'm really dedicated to this YouTube channel. And it's just fun. I drive around the city. I get a lot of footage.
So you spend quite a lot of time on the road filming.
I spend quite a lot of time.
And do you stop in the road to set up some of these shots and stuff like that?
Of course.
That sounds like that would set up a bunch of traffic. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay. Why would I sacrifice my artistic vision?
Of course. Hey, as artist to artist, I get it, man. I get it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you end your perfect day?
Oh, a little bit of TV and then bed.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And where do you sleep? Where does a Transmorpher sleep?
I have this great spot in the mega parking complex, the 100-story high parking complex in the center of the city. Yeah. I have this really great spot. It was around the 50th floor. The view is great. It was great. And it only takes 15 minutes to get to the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Do you sleep in a in a
in a
flat
spot.
bed? Oh,
No, just I've got a nice parking spot.
good.
Yeah,
good. Okay, well, I thank you, CJ, for coming on the show with us. I also never asked,
thank you.
What does CJ stand for?
Yeah, no, it stands for Cargo Jack.
Awesome,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure, CJ. Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate hearing this side of the whole public transportation argument. You know.
Thanks for having me. I loved getting the word out.
Oh, great. And that's going to do it for us here at Heroes Don't Do Paperwork. For those of you listening at home, remember, try to do the right thing. Well,
CJ's kind of a hypocrite.
A little bit, yeah. It's he's backing up though. I don't think he can hear us.
Hey, sorry guys, I think I forgot like I forgot like my tarp, like my rain tarp.
Of course.
It's just right here.
Do you want me to hand that to you?
Yeah.
Just
thanks.
put that, just kind of drape it on top.
Yeah, just kind of drip it on top.
Okay.
And I'll take care. I'll just hold on to it with my robo arms.
Kind of looks like a cape.
Yeah. Thank you. See you guys later.
Bye. Hey everybody, Angus here. As always, Sal Bedfellow was played by Matthew Wally. C.J. Orion was played by Josh Degagné. Josh is a member of the Wayward Improvised Theater. If you want to find out about the shows and workshops they're doing in Ottawa, check out waywardimprov.com. If you like this show and want to support it, or any of the other shows on the Podcavern Network, head on over to podcavern.com and check out our merch store. We've got lots of cool hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. Anything you buy there helps us keep the lights on here. Thanks for listening.